When creating an object of a subclass in memory, we need to realize that the subclass does not only contain the variables and methods within itself, but also the variables and methods that it inherits from the superclass. For example, if I had a superclass hero, which had the variables name, health, and energy, and I had a subclass that extended hero, like sorcerer, which had the variable magical energy, how I could also see it is that I have a subclass sorcerer, which has the variables name, health, energy, and magical energy. Now, if my superclass hero had a constructor that required arguments to be passed in, then this means that if I wanted to create an object of the subclass sorcerer in memory, I would need to ensure that the requirements of the hero superclass's constructor are met. That is, that I need to ensure that I pass in arguments for the constructor of the superclass hero when creating a constructor for my subclass sorcerer. This can be done using the super keyword. In the constructor of the subclass sorcerer, I would expect the user to input the required arguments for both the superclass variables and subclass variables, and then call the superclass's constructor, which requires arguments from within the subclass's constructor, using the super keyword. Moving on to a code example of how this is done, let's look at our Land of Heroes activity, which can be downloaded at the link below. First, let's create a new subclass of hero called Samurai. Right-click on the Heroes package, click New, and then Java class. Name the class Samurai and then click Finish. To inherit from the hero class, type in extends hero. Let's create a variable sword strength here, which could be used to determine how much damage a sword could inflict or be subjected to. Next, let's create a constructor of this class. Looking at the hero class, the superclass requires a hero's social security number, health, energy, and a name to be passed in. To fulfill the conditions of the superclass's constructor and pass these values into that, we would use the super keyword with these values as parameters. This satisfies the rule that states that when we create an object of a subclass in memory, we automatically call the constructor of the superclass first before we call the constructor of the subclass. While we're at it, let's set this constructor up so that it also requires a user to input the samurai's sword strength. To set the sword strength in this class, to use the sword strength that is passed in, use the this keyword. This brings us to an end of this explanation. Thank you for watching.